Hey everyone, welcome to your second full body workout of the 6-week program. This is going to be workout 2A. It's going to be a full body strength workout. All you're going to need for today is a water bottle, a mat, and if you have some kind of weight, whether it's a pair of dumbbells, soup cans, a backpack with some textbooks in it, shampoo bottles, you name it, anything like that would be awesome just for one of the shoulder exercises to give it a little bit of resistance. Other than that, pretty much all the exercises can be done with your body weight. Just before we get started, make sure you've checked in with your doctor or physician to make sure that you have the go-ahead to work out. And if you've done that, then you can hop on in and we'll get into the workout. We're gonna start with a 5-minute warm-up, and then we'll be doing a workout with 30 seconds of work followed by 30 seconds of rest for 5 exercises, 3 rounds through. I'm going to be giving you lots of modifications, variations, beginner, intermediate, a little bit more advanced, so that all of these moves can fit your fitness level. Awesome, so we'll hop right into our warm-up. So we're just going to start with a nice marching on the spot here. I want you to really get your knees up and get your arms moving. Warming up is really important for preventing injuries and also getting your blood flowing. All right, we're gonna take it into some arm circles. So we're gonna go small circles forwards, gradually getting bigger. Keep those feet coming up. Good. Get that full range of motion out of your shoulders. And we're gonna take it back. So arms back out, and we're going back. Good. Gradually getting a little bit bigger with each circle. And up. All right, we're going to take it into some side step touches. So we're moving laterally, tapping the foot, and in the opposite direction. If you need to stay up here a little bit more upright, that's okay. If you want to get a little bit lower with me, feel free. Think about pushing off the outside foot to drive you each direction. Good. Start to feel those quads warm up. Your glutes start working. Good. Last few here for 3, 2, and 1. All right, we're going to take it up. We're going to do a side bend, option 1. Standing up tall, reaching over, bending to the side, and switching sides. Option 2, small step back and reach over. And option 3, take it into a lunge with a reach over. Whichever option you choose, make sure you alternate sides. Good. If you're doing either the step back or the lunge, make sure that front foot is planted into the ground. Awesome. Shoulders rolled back, chest nice and tall. Core nice and tight. Good, we're gonna go for 1 more on each side here. And back. Good, we're gonna take it into some hamstring curls. So hamstrings are the muscles on the backs of your legs. You're gonna be curling your leg up to your glutes. So my heel, my foot is coming up to my butt muscles. Good, warming up those hamstrings. Good, taking it side to side. Again, shoulders back, chest is nice and tall. This is an awesome time to work on your posture as well. Good, so core is tight. Really starting to feel the backs of those legs warming up. Good, last few, remember to breathe. We'll go 1 more on each side. Good, all right, we're gonna warm up our hips. So what you're gonna do, grab a chair or a wall if you need to. The leg is gonna come up, out, away from the body, tap the ground, and then, whoa, bring it back to center. Good, so your range of motion might be a little bit smaller than mine. It might look something like this. That is okay. We're just warming up that hip socket. Good. We're gonna go for 1 more on this side here. Really rotating, coming back to center. Good, all right, other side. So again, grab the ball if you need to. Knee comes up, out, away from the body, and back to center. Good, just go where it's comfortable here for you today. You don't want to strain your muscles while you're warming up. Whew. Good, standing nice and tall. We'll go for one more here. And down. All right, we're gonna go into some, what they're called, Frankensteins or crisscross taps. So option 1 is opposite hand comes to opposite knee and switch sides. Option 2 is you're kicking and opposite hand comes to opposite foot. Be mindful here not to strain your hamstrings. Be nice and gentle. Good, we're just gonna alternate on the spot. Either variation. Again, standing up nice and tall. Good, we'll go for one more on each side. Good, all right, last thing we're gonna do, second last thing, is our sweeps. So heel down, toe up. We're just gonna gently sweep in front of the shin and switch legs. Good, you should feel a little bit of a light stretch in the back of the hamstring, but nothing too intense. Good, keep that up. All right, let's go one more on each side here. Awesome, all right, last thing we're gonna do, get our heart rate up a little bit, is some seal jacks. So option 1, the arms are coming out, the leg is coming out with us. If you can pick up the pace a little bit, do that. And then option 2, take it into the full-on jump. Good, we're just gonna do a couple here, get the blood flowing. Let's go for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Whew. Alrighty, hope you guys are warm. If you need any extra warm up, just pause the video, do whatever you need to do, and hop right back in with us. I'm gonna grab a sip of water. Whew, alrighty. So, like I said, 5 exercises alternating between lower body, upper body, lower body, upper body, and core. 30 seconds of work followed by 30 seconds of rest. I will show you how to do each exercise in between the rest periods. I'm gonna be doing 3 rounds of this workout today. You decide, maybe you do 1, maybe you do 2, maybe you do 4 or 5. Totally up to you. Again, with the 30 seconds of work, 30 seconds of rest. Maybe 30 seconds is way too much for you, maybe it's too little. You can add or subtract time. There'll be a timer on the screen. If you want to work for 40 seconds, rest for 20 seconds, feel free to go ahead. This is your workout, so make it challenging but safe for you. Just before we get started on our first exercise, I just want to do a little bit of a demonstration for this one. It's going to be doing a hip hinge. So it's going to be working your hamstrings. So what you're going to do is your feet are going to be about hip width apart. My feet are a nice solid foundation, so heel, big toe, little toe, planted into the ground. My hands are gonna be on my thighs, and what we're gonna be doing is hinging over. I'm sending my hips back towards the wall behind me or whatever is behind me. My hips are coming back. As my hips come back, slight bend in the knees. I glide my hands down my shins to about mid-shin length. Back is nice and flat. Then I come back up, squeeze the glutes at the top. So this is not a squat. So I'm not squatting down, coming up, but I'm sending my hips back. So tilting, coming back, hands slide down the shins, squeeze the glutes at the top, okay? If you want to hold dumbbells for this, you can either hold 1 dumbbell in your hand, 2 dumbbells in both hands. Same thing, you would hold your dumbbells coming down and up. This is an awesome one to practice in front of a mirror because a lot of times you don't realize that your back is super arched or curved or whatnot, so I would give that a try. But we're gonna hop right into our first 30 seconds. This is gonna be our first exercise. Get ready. And alrighty, we are starting. So plant those feet, hands on the thighs, nice and slow and controlled down. Back is flat. Come back up to the top, squeeze those glutes, good. Coming down, only go to about mid-shin here. You don't want to be touching the ground, you want to keep the tension. And back up, good. Last few seconds, send those hips back. Squeeze the glutes at the top. One more here, and up, good. Next up, we're gonna be doing a bent over fly. This is gonna be working our back muscles. You can hold dumbbells in your hands or soup cans if you want for this one, or do it with body weight. I will demonstrate with body weight. What you're gonna do, same thing, plant your feet about hip width apart, hinge at the hips, slight bend in the knees. My back is nice and flat, and I'm gonna be bringing my arms up, out, squeezing my shoulder blades together, and back down with control. All right, so that's our 30 seconds. So slight bend in the elbows, arms coming up, squeeze between the shoulder blades, and down with control. So my shoulder blades are right in between my upper back here. I really want you to focus on feeling that squeeze there. So we don't want to be using our biceps or our arms to be pulling us up, but rather squeezing with our back muscles to bring the weights up and down. Good, 3 seconds here, 2, 1, and time. Alrighty, I'm gonna be bringing my mat out. We're gonna be doing a floor glute bridge. Alrighty, so for this guy, I'm gonna get you to come lay down on your back. You're gonna plant your feet. If you wanna use a weight for this one, you would just put it right on top of your hips right here. What you're gonna do, plant the feet, plant the hands. Think about pinching a penny, and we're going between your butt cheeks. Pinching that penny, holding onto it, squeezing the glutes at the top, back down with control. Good, so we're really focusing on using our glutes, pressing through those butt muscles to come up to the top, holding for a second, and down with control. Good, when you come up, think about driving your knees outwards. I don't want your knees to cave in, but push them outwards. Good, make sure those feet are nice and planted and your core is nice and tight. And time. Alrighty, next up we're gonna be taking it into a shoulder press. So, hold this guy. For this one, out of all the exercises, I would say this would be the most beneficial to have some kind of weight, even if it's your soup can, shampoo bottle, whatever it is. I've got a couple dumbbells here. What we're gonna do is we're gonna have our arms up by our shoulders. We're gonna be pressing up and back down. Good, so I want you to think about keeping your core nice and tight here. A lot of times people do their shoulder press and they're arching like this. Tuck your ribs under. I heard someone say tuck your ribs into your belt buckle. Hold that core nice and tight. Press up from there. Good, so my glutes are squeezed. I'm not having a big arch in my back, and I'm just moving through my upper body. Good, for 3, 2, and time. Alrighty, last exercise in this set, we have our core exercise. I'm gonna come grab my mat. Alrighty, so this is gonna be working our lower abs here, so kind of belly button down. You're gonna come lay on your back. Knees are bent. And option 1 is one leg's coming down, tapping the ground. Then the other leg, option 2, is both legs come down, tap, and up. So you should be feeling this in your lower abs. Nice and slow and controlled. I don't want you to rush this. And I want you to make sure that lower back is pressed into the ground. I can't get my hands under my lower back. Good. Last few seconds, nice and slow. Breathe in and out, and time. Alrighty, that is round number 1. If this is it for you, thanks for joining us today. I'm gonna be going right on to round number 2. If you need more of a break, pause the video, grab your water, and hop right back in with us. All right, so we're gonna be going right back into our hip hinge. Again, grab your weights if you want to. Gonna plant those feet about hip width apart here, and we're going. Good, so roll the shoulders back, core nice and tight. Slight bend in the knees, back is nice and flat. Coming back up, squeezing those glutes at the top. Good, nice and controlled in your movement. Really feel that stretch in the hamstrings. And back to the top, good. Last few seconds. We've got time for one more. Use those glutes to power up, and time. All right, Second exercise, back into our bent over flies. I really want you to focus on squeezing those shoulder blades together here. Even if you don't have any weights, it's super easy to be able to feel those muscles working and learn how to engage them. So again, feet are hip width apart, hinged at the hips, back is nice and flat, and I'm focusing on squeezing my shoulder blades together. Because what's called a mind-muscle connection is where you think about the muscle that you're working. So while I'm doing this, I'm thinking about using my back to pull my arms up and squeeze together. Because I can do this easily with just my arms and not get any of my back, but I want that squeeze in the shoulder blades and back down. Good. Keep that slight bend in the knees, slight bend in the elbows. For 3, 2, 1, and time. Alrighty, back to our floor glute bridge. Bring my mat out. Just some airplanes. Alrighty, I've got a dumbbell here. If you wanted to use a dumbbell here, I'll just show you, place it on my hips right here. Hold on to it, do the exercise. Another thing you can do to make this more challenging is take a resistance band and loop it around just above your knees. Those are 2 easy ways to make this a little bit more challenging. Good, so feet planted. Lift the hips up, squeeze the glutes, down with control. Good. Make sure your feet aren't too far in front of you. A lot of people do this. You want your feet almost so my hands can almost touch them, not quite, but that's gonna really focus on the glutes here rather than getting more hamstring. Good. So nice and slow and controlled up. Squeeze that penny. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Down with control. Good. Alrighty, back to our shoulder press. Good, so grab whatever weights you have if you're gonna use weights for this one. And again, another good one to do in the mirror to see, are you arching your back and hunching as you do this, or is your core nice and tight and are you nice and still? All right, so 3, 2, and go. Good. So my hands are just above my shoulders. I'm reaching all the way overhead. And I'm just coming back down to where my arms are almost straight out from my shoulders. So I'm not dropping down here, I'm staying up. Good, so really isolate those shoulders, core nice and tight, squeeze the glutes. It's actually a great almost full body exercise just to stabilize yourself. Good, we've got 3 seconds, 2, and time. All right, last one, abs. Get right back onto your mat. Alrighty, so again, I just want to show when your core is engaged, I can't reach my hands under my lower back. It's really easy to use your hip flexors and your back and have this huge space. Tuck the hips under, core tight, one leg down, the other leg up. If I don't have control of my core, when I come down, what happens is I start to go like this and get that gap. So maybe I tuck under, I can only come to here and then back up. Just go to where you can keep that lower back pressed into the ground so you're really using your core. Good. Take it slow here. Challenge yourself. Go a little bit slower and time. Alrighty. That was 2 rounds. I'm gonna do 1 more round here today. Pause, grab some water, whatever you need, and then hop right back in. We're going right into our hip hinge. Good, so this last round here, you know all the exercises, you know what to do. Maybe you grab a little bit of extra weight, try to get in an extra rep, really focus on your form. Whatever you do, make this last round count. All right, so hip hinge. Good, focus on using those glutes. Power up at the top. Good, slow it right down, right to mid shin. Come up, drive the hips, squeeze the glutes. Good, make sure those shoulders are rolled back. Back is nice and flat. I'm not like this, not like this. Good, come back up. We've got time for 1 more. We've got 3, 2, and time. Alrighty, bent over fly. If you are starting to feel kind of tired or fatigued here, one option is, instead of doing both arms, maybe show you this way, you can just do one arm and then the other here. As well, if you're using weights and you need to drop the weights, I'd rather you have good form and no weights than have sloppy form and be using your weights. All right, so 3, 2, we're hinging at the hips, good. So check those knees, have a slight bend in the elbows. Good, my back is nice and flat, and I'm focusing on that squeeze of the shoulder blades at the top. So rather than just coming up and down and up and down, hold for a second at the top, feel that squeeze, and then come down, good. Up, squeeze the shoulder blades, and back, good. Last 5 seconds, core nice and tight, for 3, 2, 1, and time. Alrighty, back onto our mats for our floor bridge. How's that? Alrighty. This guy here, it's really easy to overextend and just lift your hips up and down on this one. I want you to think about tucking your ribs into your belt. You can't let this go. So when I lift my hips up, I'm only getting glutes. I'm not extending all the way up here using my back, okay? So ribs into the belt buckle, feet are planted, hips are coming up, squeezing that penny, squeezing the glutes, and back down, good. Core is nice and tight, and I'm driving my knees slightly outwards at the top. Good, slow it right down, squeeze at the top, last few seconds, and time. Alrighty, 2 more exercises, then we're done for today. Grab those weights for our shoulder press. Awesome. Again here, if you're getting a little bit tired, instead of doing both arms, you can go one arm and then the other, or you can even do 15 seconds with one arm and then switch 15 seconds with the other arm. So those are 2 awesome options. Alrighty, 30 seconds here, let's go. Coming up, good, core is nice and tight, and down, good. So my elbows are slightly in front of my shoulders. They're not back behind me, slightly in front. My dumbbells are coming almost to shoulder height. Good, so we're pressing up above our heads, staying nice and stable. Good, feel those shoulders working for 4, 3, 2, and time. Alrighty, last exercise. We've got our core exercise and then we are all done for today. Good, so right back on that mat. Again, you can always modify what you're doing if you were doing a more advanced version. If you were doing the 2-leg tap down and you're getting kind of tired, just switch it to the 1 leg. Challenge yourself, but do so with good form and good technique. All right, last round, let's go. Good, so 1 leg down, tap the heel, and back up. Good, checking that our lower back is not coming off the ground, and we're bringing our leg down to a height that is keeping our abs engaged rather than our lower back or our hip flexors. Good. A few more seconds here. Slow it down, breathe in and out. Good, hang on to it, we're almost there. And time. Awesome job, you guys. I'm gonna go through a really quick stretching and cool down. If you don't wanna follow this stretch, that's no problem. Pause the video, we'll see you next time, but please do your own little bit of stretching or cool down. It's super important for your recovery. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're going to come onto our mats. I'm gonna come onto one knee here, plant the other foot, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna send, instead of dumping my hips forward, I'm gonna pull back, tuck my hips under, keep my core tight, and I'm gonna get a nice stretch in my hip flexor right here. Feels really good, especially if you do a lot of running or you sit a lot, your hip flexors get really tight. Feels really good to stretch them out. Good, chest is nice and tall, shoulders back. Awesome. All right, we're gonna switch sides, so other leg comes up. Again, we're not dumping the hips forwards, but we're tucking the core under, pulling back, feeling that stretch in this hip flexor. Whew. Always feels so good. Good. Breathe here as you stretch. Alrighty, we're gonna stretch out our hamstrings, so the backs of our legs. So we're gonna just switch legs here. Leg comes forward, heel down, toes are pointing up. And you can either just bend forward over this lead leg. You can also plant your hands if you want to. Whatever's comfortable for you. For some people, even this is enough right here. So just do to where you feel a bit of a stretch, but you never want excruciating pain when you're stretching. Good, think about flexing that foot, pointing those toes right up to the sky. Whew. All right, we'll switch legs, so other leg is coming forward. Again, square those hips, heel down, toe up. You can hinge over however is comfortable for you, feeling that nice stretch in the backs of those hamstrings. Good. All right, we're gonna take it into a little stretch for our backs. So what you're gonna do is plant your hands into a tabletop position. You're gonna drop one shoulder down and thread the arm underneath this hand. So what you should be feeling here is a stretch in your upper back. So as I press down with this front hand, I'm pulling with this arm, getting my upper back to open up. It feels really good when you get it right. Whew. Good, all right, so switching sides, threading this arm underneath, landing on, ooh, all those cracks on that shoulder, really feeling in my upper back. Good, come back up. And last thing we're gonna do is just give a little core and back relief. So we're gonna be in our tabletop, so our back is nice and flat, hands and feet are planted. I'm gonna inhale, bend the elbows, look up towards the sky, arching my back. And as I exhale, press through the elbows, round the spine, round down through my hands. Good, so we're just gonna cycle through a couple of these. So arching, looking up, and rounding, looking down. Good, let's do one more. Arch and look up. Round and look down. And we'll take it back into a neutral spine. Awesome, that'll be everything for today. Thank you so much, you guys, for joining me. I hope you had an awesome workout. Make sure you drink lots of water, get good sleep, eat well, recover, and I'll see you for the next workout.